At over 180 years old, it's kind of hard to say that Patek is going through a midlife crisis. But they're definitely going through something. Over the last few years, we've seen Patek introduce a lot more, for lack of a better way to put it, younger watches. But the interesting thing is that they've been doing it not with the Nautilus, which is sort of their mass appeal watch. Instead, they've been doing it with their classic Calatrava line. So today we're going to take a look at one of those watches and compare it to what one would normally consider to be a Calatrava. On my right, we have the Patek 5227. Now this is what you normally think of when you think of a Patek Philippe Calatrava. A nice, simple, clean dial, 3 hands, this one even has a date, and not really much else going on in terms of big, shouty details. You have subtle things like the evacuated lugs, it's very thin, you have a nice pin buckle, white gold, and it even has a hunter case back, which means you can actually open it up and see the movement. Again, nothing too over the top, it's just simple, traditional watchmaking. But this is exactly what Patek is trying to get away from, and we've seen this for a few years actually. When they introduced the Calatrava Pilot, this was something that was totally out of the blue. It wasn't even an homage to an older watch, instead it was much more of an exercise of what if Patek Philippe had made a pilot's watch in its history. But the real sign of a changing tide was in 2022 when they introduced this, the Patek Philippe 5226G. Now on paper this is very similar to the 5227. They're both white gold. This one's 40 millimeters instead of 39 millimeters. They did ditch the hunter case back, so it is actually thinner, but it's so much more rich when it comes to the details, while still being a traditional Patek at the end of the day. The first thing that you notice instantly as you look at this watch is the amazing texture on the dial. It's almost like an asphalt or like the texture of like a road or a street. And it shows you that Patek is definitely getting a little bit edgier. One would have never expected that from a brand like Patek Philippe. But further down you see more details. They've taken the hobnail pattern that they normally use on the Calatrava's bezel and shifted it over to the entire case band. A little bit of a breguet move, but using their own signature. And even the strap itself is a work of art because this is actually all calfskin. This isn't an actual textile, but they've embossed it to make it seem like textile. And this is really what you would expect from Patek, this level of attention to detail, but still being sort of subtle in the way that they go about it, not shouting how they do it. The numerals are much more legible with these Arabics going around the dial. You have a nice minute track, and the syringe hands are extremely legible and make this much less of a dress watch, but much more of an everyday watch. That being said though, this is still a Patek in some ways. One of them being the fact that this more usable everyday watch is still only 30 meters water resistant. So Patek is still a little bit stuck in the dress watch era when it comes to this new Calatrava. But more than anything, it's a mission statement from Patek Philippe. It shouldn't be lost on us the fact that they haven't released a new steel 5811 yet. Instead, they only have the white gold version. But this, the Calatrava travel time, the weekly calendar that they did introduce in steel, all of these are stacking up to show Patek Philippe is trying to broaden its appeal beyond the Nautilus and reinvigorate the Calatrava line by making it more interesting, less traditional, but not deviating from what does make a Patek Philippe a Patek Philippe. This is still precious metal. It still carries the Patek Philippe hallmark on the movement. It's still super thin, but it's a lot more fun. And luckily here at Chronext, we have both of these two different approaches to a Calatrava. Two completely different ideals of what this model line should be, but both of them executing it in an amazing way. So let me know in the comments below, which of these do you prefer, and do you agree with the direction that Patek Philippe is going with the Calatrava and with becoming a little bit younger, a little bit more fun perhaps than what we normally associate with Patek. In 2023, they already released their new modern Calatrava with 3 different color options and a carbon print embossed on both the dial as well as the strap. So clearly they're pursuing this direction. But let me know in the comments below, which direction do you prefer? Are you more team traditional Patek or team new Patek? I'd love to know you guys' thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you like either of these watches or want to see our entire selection of Patek Philippe's, then make sure you check the links in the description below. And of course, if you like this video, then make sure you like it and share it. If you want to see more videos of watches, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as well so you know when the next video comes out. In any case, thank you for joining us on this quick exploration of the new direction that Patek has been taking of late, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.